Welcome again to Let's Get Working. Today is part 2 of our interview skills. I have Bernie with me here, and I'm going to ask him some questions about what the best things are to do in an interview. All right, so welcome, Bernie. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me. Pleasure to be here.
Yes. So Bernie, what do you say employers look for in resumes and cover letters?
Okay. I can't emphasise enough how important a cover letter is, okay, to getting that initial interview.
Uh-huh.
In the initial stages, your cover letter is actually more important to your resume because it's got to grab the employer's attention.
Yep.
So you've got to put in that cover letter, really highlight your strengths,
Uh-huh.
and say things, words that are going to capture the employer's eye. So positive words, action words,
Mm-hmm.
how positive words and words that are going to automatically draw the employer's attention to your particular cover letter. Because you imagine employers getting lots of cover letters and
Yeah.
resumes, so you've got to make yours stand out.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be a long letter,
Uh-huh.
but it just needs to really emphasise why you're interested in the job and what strengths you think you can bring to that position. And then obviously your resume should support anything you're saying in your cover letter.
Yep.
So it should be short and sweet and to the point. You should always have a goal outlined, an objective on your resume, and you should also just outline your work history, your personal strengths, and your skill set that you're going to bring. So
Okay.
when your employer is asking you in questions about your cover letter, you can back it up with your resume.
All right. Thanks for that, Bernie.
That's all right.
Secondly, what kind of questions do you see employers asking over and over again?
Yeah, there's usually about 3 or 4 common questions that you'll find employers asking. Usually they start off with the question, tell me about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And that's not an open invitation for you to rattle off your life history to the employer, because
Mm-hmm.
what they want to find out is about you as a person. So who you are, where you live, what kind of environment you're living in. You're living at home with your family. I've got my own transport. Any hobbies or interests that you have, that particularly if they're applicable to the job that you're going for. So that's generally the first one that they'll ask you. Now, a lot of people get stumped on that one. They don't really know what the employer's looking for,
Mm-hmm.
but the employer's just trying to find out the type of person you are, a bit
Okay.
about yourself and your character, and if you're going to fit into their work environment.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they back that up with why do you want to work for this company? So hopefully you've done your research and you know a bit about the company that you're inquiring about.
Mm-hmm.
And employers are always very impressed when you know something about
Yes.
their company.
And I think it's good to mention a little bit about the company in your cover letter as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Your cover letter should be personalised and specific to the job that
Yep.
you're going for.
And the company.
And the company, that's
Yeah.
right. So you should write a basic cover letter, but you should adapt it to the particular job and company that you're going for.
All right.
But yeah, they like to hear about themselves then,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what you know about the company.
Mhm.
And obviously if you're showing you have a good knowledge of the company and you're still showing an interest, that means that that's the kind of company that you'd like to work for.
Okay. Yep.
Generally after that they'll throw in a question, well, tell me about your previous work history.
Okay.
So what they're looking for there is to find out what you've done in the past, what
Mhm.
skill set you're going to bring to them, and you can you should have an answer anyway for why you've moved on from different roles.
Okay.
So you should be prepared for that.
Okay. What if they don't have a work history?
That's fine. If they don't have a work history, then you highlight what you have been doing over the last few years to get you ready for work.
Okay.
All right, and then you can say, no, I don't have a work history, but these are my strengths. This is the skill set I can bring to you.
Mhm.
And then you can ask them, you're really just looking for somebody to give you an opportunity so you can prove, what a valuable employee you're going to be.
Okay.
So you've really got to, you know, turn that around and say, no, I don't have a work history, but this is what I can bring to the table.
All right. Cool.
Which usually leads on to the next question, you know, what are your strengths and weaknesses?
Uh-huh.
Strengths are usually pretty easy to talk about,
Yep.
but everybody usually gets stumped on the weaknesses question. Everybody has weaknesses,
Mm-hmm.
and with employers that don't highlight your weaknesses, but if you talk about them, but also turn that weakness around into a strength.
Yeah.
Okay, so you might say that I'm a bit shy dealing with people, but what I'm doing is I'm doing a public speaking course at the moment to help build up my self-esteem and confidence.
Mhm.
So if you do have a weakness, highlight to the employer that obviously you're very aware of that's a weakness of yours, but you're
Mhm.
also doing something about it.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. They
That's
seem really helpful.
Yeah, generally, you know, they're the typical questions that an employer's going to ask you straight off, and then they might ask you specific questions about what you know about the job.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think the job's about? Okay,
Okay.
so hopefully you've done your homework and you've found out what the job is about and what it entails, so you can, you know, show the employer that you're keen and you're aware of what the job involves. Because the last thing an employer wants is somebody to come into a job with expectations of what it's about and then find those expectations are totally different.
Yeah. Okay. And also, what tips can you give people about going for an interview?
Well, we've spoken to a lot of employers over the years, and obviously in our roles we speak to a lot of employers. The one thing that comes out that employers are looking for is attitude.
Okay.
So a positive attitude.
Uh,
They want to know that you're going to fit into their workforce,
Yeah.
okay, and that you're bringing in the right kind of attitude and work ethic that they're looking for.
Mhm.
They can teach you the skills and they can get you some training, but they can't teach you the attitude. So that's the one thing that employers regularly say to me is, we're looking for somebody with the right attitude. So if you can present yourself with the right attitude, then you'll go a long way to making an impression on the employer.
Right. So, when you say right attitude,
Mhm.
what kind of characteristics has the right attitude?
Good question. Characteristics that have the right attitude, employers are looking for somebody who's going to be reliable,
Mhm.
they're going to be conscientious, they're going to be honest, and somebody who wants to do the job, so somebody who wants to work. Employers want to make sure that the people they're employing are going to turn up for work every day.
Yep.
They're going to be productive while they're there, and they're going to bring value to the company. So if you can convey those things in your interview,
Yep.
then you'll go a long way towards being successful.
Great. Well, thank you for your time today, Bernie.
Not a problem at all. Thanks for having me,
Yeah.
and always here for advice.
All right, cool. Yeah, so that's it for today on Let's Get Working. If you have any questions or comments, just write them on the blog and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day. Bye for now.